good evening and welcome back to another round of Formula Student Sim Racing. It is a brand new season, 2024-2025.
Another circuit which is actually part of an ex-airfield in England, of course, 1980s. It was first introduced, track surface has changed since then as well, but the main series that the Crosscut host, which I really enjoy, British Touring Car. But they made contact, Giles. I wanted to make contact. Oh my goodness.
They've done it. Southampton take victory. He's taken it. Halle have claimed victory.
That was a class act from Vigo tonight. Look at that.
Southampton take victory.
Congratulations, University of Glasgow. Queen Mary get their first ever victory.
A very good evening and welcome once again to the Formula Student Sim Racing Series, this time for 2025-2026. As ever, you join us in the virtual commentary box. I'm Giles Cosgrove, and joining me are Jess Ball and James Montgomery, who are going to be with you all season as we have got a mega field this year. It's absolutely huge. We have got not one, not two, forget it, 283 drivers taking part this year, 73 teams, 19 countries, 4 continents, but there can only be one winner. And we have got teams from around the world competing this year, and already the comments are coming in. Caliber saying, please don't do a pile-up. Amelia, meanwhile, let's go, Leicester. Getting the hype in the chat, ready for this session. Carter Steele, come on, Greater Manchester. Bolton to Giles and Monty. Yes, that's what we call them. Easy wins for Southampton, says Georgios. Go Aberdeen, says Jojo Scott. A-Fan says, let's go, Team Infinity. Ronk supporting University of Leicester. Shum supporting Aberdeen. And Mohammed Balal saying, what's TAU? TAU is the University of Aberdeen. We've got a fantastic combination coming up for you for this inaugural round. We've got the Porsche 911 RSRs. We've got a classic format. The conditions look to be clear, so they're going to be perfect racing conditions around this very complicated course. Jess, how do you think drivers are going to approach this course?
Well, this course is designed for motorbikes, really, because it's been home to MotoGP for quite some time, 1998. So for these drivers is not really designed for cars such as the Porsche, so they got to be very intricate in terms of the braking zones as well. They got to make sure they can nail the elevation changes, because that is very tricky, of course, and it's going to be quite a few gamble overtakes, I would say, because the gravel tracks, as we've seen in practice, are very, very close. And especially with the format tonight, for tonight's race, we're going to have the feature race first and then the sprint race. So a long 35-minute race and then a 15-minute race straight after, with 2 drivers each for each team, apart from a few, of course. The format you can see on your screen now, Giles.
Yes, indeed. There's already been a considerable amount of conversation between the drivers on the general chat on Discord regarding strategy and how best to take advantage of the equal points awarded to both the main race and the sprint race. 2 different distances, 2 different times, and yet equal points applied to each. Some teams talking about sandbagging. And this is it. It's not always going to be easy with the sim racing, because we're not only trying to go wheel-to-wheel racing virtually, but we're trying to train the next generation of engineers. It's all about training. It's all about education for Formula students. So not only have we got that, we've also got the engineering challenges. We'll be discussing that later on this evening if you're new to the world of Formula Student and the sim racing series. It's a classic combination. We've got a track in Germany paired up with an excellent car, the 911, old reliable 911 there. So the first race will be taking place in approximately, according to my watch, 15 minutes. We will then have the full race for there. I think it's 35 minutes, if I remember correctly. Qualifying will be then occurring at 20 minutes to 7, 20 minutes to 8, I should say, if we stay on schedule. And then at 10 past 8, we will have the second sprint race. Darren Davison saying, come on, let's go, Top Hat Tyler. Wendy Cohen says, hi, Giles, watching with Nev tonight, cheering on Glasgow and Strathclyde as usual. We love the Cohens here on the Sim Racing series. They're regulars and they're great. Meanwhile, literally England says UHA Garibaldi easy wins. Thank you. The entirety of England says Leo Garibaldi. It's already started and it can only go downhill from here. We've got 6 rounds. Let's see how much of the barrel we can scrape. So anyway, shall we look at the liveries? Because it's one of my favorite parts of the Sim Racing series. We've got a fantastic team who put together some great liveries in the colours of each university. And there are so many different universities taking part this year. 73 teams, all with their respective liveries. Shall we take a look at what they look like this year?
Yep, that sounds like a good idea to me.
Disappeared according to the comments on the chat. Do stay with us, please. Hoping to be back with you momentarily. We'll be right back. Stay with us, please. Hello, checking 1 2 3.
They can hear us now. It's just one of the scenes didn't have the audio where he was speaking, Giles.
Right, okay.
So they can hear us now, but as I was saying,
let's go and try that again. Let's go and try that one again. So now the audio is coming through whilst we're looking at the skin. So let's carry on, Jess. So we were just looking at our reigning champion, Queen Mary, just before. They were your favourite last year. Do you reckon they can do it twice again?
They've got a lot of knowledge from last season, kept a lot of their driver talent, of course, like Giles was saying earlier. If you want to do well in the sim racing series, you have to compete and do well in the engineering challenges. That's what did them at the end, helped them at the end win the sim racing series. They finished third in the engineering challenge in the end, and I think a lot of teams are going to find it quite difficult to beat them. But the second team that I think want to take it to them once again and not be the bridesmaid is the University of Southampton. They won the finals A race last season, but it wasn't enough, was it, Monty?
No, it wasn't quite enough. You know, Southampton, they won the championship in the first season we ever did the sim racing series, and every season since they've come runners-up. As you say, they're the kind of bridesmaid team now, and I would love to see them win the championship again this year. They've got some very competitive drivers in there, so it will be interesting to see. But here is a team I'm looking forward to seeing how they do. They've got 3 sim racing drivers, esports drivers in their field this year. So it's not just Dylan Warren at York A now. We've got 2 other fast drivers to contend with. This is going to be fun.
This will be interesting
Yes.
because York came out of the mid-pack last year around round 2 with Dylan Warren behind the wheel and were suddenly incredibly unstoppable. If they've cloned Dylan twice more, then that's going to be quite an intense driver lineup for others to compete with.
Yes, absolutely. Now, car number 4 we have here, it's College Dublin. They were the surprise protagonists going into the last round, I'd say, last year, but very, very consistent run from them. But it's a brand new team this year, so don't really know what to expect from them, but we wish them the best of luck. However, here we are, car number 5. They won the championship for the last couple of years. Glasgow by name, but they weren't by nature last year. It was a brand new team, and it was fantastic to watch them go from, well, in the first race last year, they didn't even get into the top server. So to go from there to being race winners again by the end of last year, what's your bets, guys? What are we reckoning?
They came back into their own towards the end of the season. I reckon they found their feet now, and I think we could be on for a resurgence and back to form for Glasgow.
Yeah. I agree. I think that they're very strong, and of course they also won the engineering challenge last season again for the 3rd year running. So who's going to beat Glasgow for the engineering challenge? We have to wait and see. And of course we've got car number 6, the team that features Top Hat Tyler. It is of course Hole A. Hole A have had some good races last season, and I remember a few drivers coming up all the way from the back to near the front in quite a few races. So I'm excited to see a resurgence from them as well. Can they get a top 5 finish? We'll see. Next, we got Vigo, who created the video that you saw at the beginning of the stream. And do you agree, Giles and Monty, that it looks absolutely fabulous?
It looked like a motion picture. It looked as good as the Formula 1 movie to my mind. I thought it was impeccable.
Chef's kiss.
Hell yeah.
There we go. Vigo, our highest... well, actually, no, that's a lie. Dublin were our highest ranking team outside of the UK. Then it was Vigo. 19 different countries of universities taking part this season. I appreciate we're not going to be able to get through all of them before the first race, so I think we're going to do this in 2 halves, guys. So we'll get through as many of the teams just now, do the first race, and then we'll come back during the FS News to see off the rest of them. But...
Yes.
Right, who have we got next? We've got Team 8.
Greater Manchester, which were Bolton.
That's correct. So this is a team that's been with us since the very, very beginning. New drivers again this year, so it'd be good to see. Jack London is no longer there. And
Miss you, Jack.
Yes, and we will see what let's see what the new team can do. The old guard are gone. Maybe it's going to be another case of Greater Manchester by name, but not by nature. We shall wait and see. Team 9, who have we got here, guys?
We've got Queen's University Belfast this evening, and another team which has done quite well as well. It's got some very surprising, great results, and strongly have done well in the land finals as well. And I'm excited to see what they could do. The Leeds liveries look great, by the way, and of course we've got Monty's stomping ground up next in car number 10, Hertfordshire A team, and they got a very strong driver lineup this year. They almost got their car through scrutineering in real life, didn't quite make it, which I was absolutely gutted for, but there we go. That is something to behold. But I'm loving this livery. And our next team...
Jess,
Sorry, carry on, Monty.
No, I was just going to say, strong driver lineup indeed. I have been told that they have also got a esports professional in their lineup this year, someone who raced for the ART. I do not know his name, but I know that he drives for the AR team. So ART team, I should say. So
Apex Racing. Oh, that's a strong team. And car number 11 is our first joker for tonight. University of Leicester, Monty.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. Remember, guys, a joker means that the cars will be driving 5% lighter than the others, so they can opt to use this twice during the season. So Leicester straight in there. Great team, Leicester. So friendly, very, very sociable. They came to my charity car event last year. Spanked everyone's backsides as well and won the whole thing, but it was great for them to be part of that as well. So, yeah, best of luck.
Apologies to anyone from Leicester who was obstructed by a slightly balding mid-20s driver who couldn't keep up with anybody.
I can't remember who number 12 is. I'm trying to figure out what the abbreviation is, and I think it's the first time I got absolutely stumped. So I do apologise if you're in that team. I can't remember who that is.
Strathclyde.
It's Strathclyde.
Oh, I'm sorry, Strathclyde. Of course, Strathclyde finished second in the Engineering Challenge last season. Actually was one of the first teams other than Glasgow to actually win a round of the Engineering Challenge last year. I think they're going to be strong again. It seems to me Scottish teams do well in engineering challenges, Monty.
Yes, it's as if Scottish know how to do engineering. They did invent tarmac after all, so there's your fun fact for the evening. Right, number 13.
And then we got UCLM up next, another Spanish team.
Buongiorno, welcome back, guys. No, that was Italian I've just said there. Never mind. Right.
Hola.
Hola.
Right, that's a clip we could use for the funny bits at the end. So Monty's beating Giles to it this season.
I thought UCLM were Italian last year.
No, they're Spanish. Castalamanca, something. Castalamanca. I'm gonna butcher their name so badly, and I'm offending the whole of Spain at the moment. So I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah,
we're
so sorry, but we recognise this team, and I'm sure Giles does as well. It is Cardiff, but they got pretty much a new driver lineup this season.
By and large, yes, they do. They've done away with the slight green tinge and really dove into the black and red this time around. And I'll be interested to see how they get on. I've heard rumours that Aaron Farmer will be returning in some way, shape or form, but I don't believe he'll be racing during the first round. So I had to see how Cardiff do without their talisman. Meanwhile, the media saying, don't worry, Giles, we will forgive you for getting in the way during karting. I get in the way anyway, whether that's karting or just as a human being. I just have a habit of getting in the way. So Amelia, I can only apologise. But Cardiff, they're back again. Car number 14 this time.
Alrighty, Giles, that is going to be a joke for you and the audience because for some reason your audio has stopped working on Discord at the moment, so Jess and I couldn't hear that, but the whole of the audience could hear that joke with you. So I hope it was a funny one, guys. If someone could feel free to type it into the text box, let me know what you were saying. That would be much appreciated. DMU Racing, here we are. Sorry, go on, Jess. Yes. Yeah,
it's the Montfort University, of course, who I absolutely love their driver lineup again this year. I saw them doing well in the finals as well in Williams, and it was great to see. They had a great finals race when we last saw them. So I wonder if they're going to do the same later on, maybe in the first race. We'll have to wait and see. Very strong driver lineup. I can't wait to see what they can do. Number 17 is, of course, Aberdeen, and of course we've got Scottish, and we've got other drivers in that lineup as well. I can't wait to see what they could do in that car, and of course we've got some new drivers in there as well, Monty.
Yes, it's a brand new team in there essentially. Scottish is still there, so the Ogard is there for one last year, I believe, but some new team members in there to help him out. He did so many one-drive entries last year. The poor guy. So
and we gave him a kilt.
Yes, we did get tartan trousers. So that was all good. We've skipped number 16 through all of this, though, Jess. Glasgow Caledonian University. 3 Glaswegian universities. How about that?
Yeah, it didn't appear on my list, but probably because they're not racing tonight, which is probably why I could have seen them.
No, that's completely fair. So that's a real shame that Caledonian University won't be here tonight, but they were great to watch last year, but these things happen. 18, it is the University of Hertfordshire's B team, so double trouble coming from Hertfordshire. That should be good fun to see. 19, it's York's B team, so again, double trouble going on there. Number 20, we have... I cannot recognize... Oh, it's KCO?
I don't know what it is, but I
King's
love it.
College.
It's gorgeous.
King's College, beg your pardon. KCO, King's College.
One of the strongest rookies last season, Monty.
Yes, they were. They were fascinating to watch. I'm really looking forward to this one. I will have to move screen in about 30 seconds' time, but just to wrap things up for the first parts, guys.
Oh, yes, I love this.
Exeter.
It's X-Racing.
There we go.
Oh,
and Monty, they don't just have one team, they have two teams competing in the Sim Racing Series this year. We'll find out about their other team a little bit later on. But yeah, two teams from Exeter this year.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It's there's a lot of teams that have put in B teams. We've got a couple of alumni teams as well in this year as well. And
York being one of them.
York being one of them, and we've also got some international teams going on as well, guys. It really is an international contest now from
including
Kazakhstan.
our top two.
Go on.
Including our top two from FS UK this year are making an appearance in the Sim Racing Series. We got Bizkaya and we got Familiar Racing, our top two from FS UK this year. So great to have them on board for Sim Racing.
Really is great stuff. I can't wait for that. Big shout outs to both Bizkaya and Vermilion. So coming up then, we've got our first race moments away. And I always like to do this, and we never get it right, and the teams hate us for it, but I'm going to do it again. Jess, Monty, your predictions, please, for race one, round one.
I don't know, because I don't know who's racing. I'm gonna go York. Why not?
That's a fair shout, Jess. That's a fair shout indeed. To my mind,
York A. Sorry, York A. Because there's 3 York teams. So yeah, York A.
I must say, I probably go on the side of. I might even go Aberdeen. I really like Aberdeen's livery. McScottish is an FS legend. There's just something about the hype surrounding them going into this year. They got 1 returning driver, 3 new boys. McScottish leading the pack. Aberdeen might just be in with a shout here potentially. And look at this, we've got a brand new roving camera with plenty of new angle options. Literally England going mad for Gary Bowley and UHJ. In fact, the entire chat is just becoming a whole lot of love for University of Hertfordshire's A team. Che going mad for Queen Mary. Liam O'Sullivan Racing going for Hearts as well. So here we go. You can see a top-down view now of the track. This is what the teams have got to get to grips with.
They can't see yet.
Oh, they've got to look at my ugly mug. I'm so sorry. Oh, also,
for about another 20 seconds, and then we're going to move it over.
Behold the beard. I am capable of growing hair somewhere, just not necessarily on the top of my head.
Yes, and Giles, should we explain about the servers that we got tonight?
We've got 3 servers, Jess. 3 servers.
Yes, we've got 3 servers, and qualifying is even more important this season because we've got loads of teams. We've got 60 teams competing tonight. So the top 20 universities from qualifying 1, they compete in server 1, but they're not going to be the same for server 2 because the second driver competes in qualifying 2, and the top 20 drivers from that qualifying will go into server 1. Then it's the next 20 for server 2 and the next 20 for server 3. We're not going to be covering server 2 and server 3, but you do have a roving reporter that's going to keep an eyes and ears on each of those servers, server 2 in particular. But the main broadcast is going to be server 1. Who is in server 1? Oh, you're going to have to wait and find out.
Yeah, we'll be able to share that with you momentarily, but now you are live. Now you can see the virtual world. Welcome to the Sachsenring. Just before we start looking at the cars in more detail, I just want us to have a look at this track layout because I'm counting
it's beautiful.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive left-handers in Sector 2. This is going to knacker up the front right tyre, surely.
Yeah, I'd be a bit concerned about tyre wear, especially because the damage and degradation gets turned up in this simulation to ensure that teams are faced with the choice of either running out of fuel, running out of tyre grip, or making a pit stop. We're forcing teams to make a pit stop, forcing them to have to contend with the sort of motorsport strategies they're going to have to in the real world. So we are really aiming down that educational route of Formula Student that we pride ourselves on here at FS. Server 1 will be live throughout the evening, and then we've got James Greenhill Upward, our roving reporter, who will be bringing us live reports from Server 2 and Server 1. You're on board there with DEL. That's a new team to
Racing
my
royalty,
knowledge.
Giles. Racing royalty. Look at this. It's Team Delft.
We've got Delft, so you may have seen them. They're from
brilliant, they're
Germany.
here.
And they are one of the most exciting and one of the most renowned teams in Formula Student in the world. So if you are watching live from Germany, do give us a comment. Let us know that you're watching from Germany, supporting Delft. We'd love to hear from you. We are.
It's more likely the Dutch are going to be supporting Delft rather than
Yeah,
the
it's the
Germans,
Dutch,
but I'm
not
sure
the
the Germans
Germans.
may
Right,
be
No, they
That's a
didn't just do
mistake
that, did I?
again from Giles Cosgrove.
They
Okay,
also
look.
drive on the right-hand side, though, don't worry.
Yeah, they do.
Thank goodness for that. Honestly.
I see some other new teams. I see Coventry in there. I see Surrey in there. The number 29 car. I see De Montfort, I see Leicester, I see Bizkaya in the top server. That's great to see. And I'm trying to figure what number 70, Strathclyde B, has made it into the top server. That is great to see. The B team is through there. We also got Glasgow. We got our reigning champions, Queen Mary in there. We have Exeter A. We got Cardiff A, Southampton, Greater Manchester, Hertfordshire A. Monty's going to be happy that they're in the top server. We got Vigo. Holle as well. Top Hat Tyler is racing. Oh, I'm excited to see this. We got York. I can't see Strathclyde A in the top server. Am I being blind?
No, I'm. Yes, they are here. They're number 12. They're in 17th on the timings at the moment. So it looks like both the Strathclyde are in there.
Yeah.
So brilliant. That's great news
that's
to
good.
see.
And Hong Kong Polytechnic B as well is in the top server.
Absolutely. No, this is some racing. Yeah, as I say, we've got Delft here. We have the reigning champions from Formula Student, Bizkaya, here as well. So this is fantastic to see them here. If there's
look at this.
Look at that. It's a great livery. By the way, if there is anyone online who is here supporting Bizkaya tonight, or you are part of the team, I have a quick message for you. Give me my shirt back.
Here we go. We never said we were slick or professional, did we?
I'm never slick or professional.
No, absolutely not. We're free is what we are. Right, so here we go then.
Just before we go off on one, I just want to say a huge shout out to Rob, our graphics guy, because as you can see, his skins are phenomenal as always. We are doing the Porsches in. Oh my God, what is going on with my car?
Oh dear Lord! Oh dear Lord! Is that your face stretched out over a 911?
That is my face. That is my. Oh, and I'm liking the gantry as well. Oh, thank you, Rob.
That is brilliant. Thank you, Rob.
So I must say as well, not only are we coming to you live on the Formula Student YouTube channel, but for those travelling out and about who can't look down at a screen, we're also coming to you live on Express Radio from Cardiff. So if you're listening in Cardiff and you're listening on Express Radio, do welcome along to the Formula Student Sim Racing series. And we're just describing to you stuff that you can't see, but I can reliably inform you it does look great, and you can check it out on the Formula Student YouTube channel. Here is the grid then. Shall we go through the grid?
In a second, Giles, I just wanted to give one last plug, because the reason for the skin, those who watch the Endurance series will know that a couple of the Porsche teams have been running a team called Rexy and Roxy, they're dinosaurs. So that's why all the cars have the teeth and the tongues on them, because it's supposed to be representing facts. That's why my car
that is really cool.
Because it's the Monty. Also, I wanted to give. I also wanted to give Rob extra praise because of the level of detail he's gone to this season. Because it's not just the skins. Look at like the gantries. He's put the actual team gantries on there. He's put our sponsors on the billboards. There's JJRacing. There's Viz Media. There's Formula Student. There's Williams Sim Racing, our title sponsor. And look at this gantry at the back here. It's
wow!
Now,
I love this.
So a huge thank you to Rob. A huge thank you, Rob.
Who is an ex-Sim Racing driver, of course.
From Aberdeen, yes, so he used to race with Scottish back in the day, and now he is on the other side helping us run. We've got 2 minutes to go until the race
As is a few other people.
Exactly, so no, I just want to say a huge shout out to him. Apparently, there's another Easter egg with the marshals, so I'm going to be looking for those very carefully during the race. But enough about that.
Will do.
Jess, Giles, our first grid of the season.
Here we go then.
We're going to carry on, Giles.
Kicking off in pole, Dylan Warren for York A, back again on the front row. Topping out the front row, Queen Mary Formula Student. Meanwhile, in third, it's University of Hertfordshire's B team with Garibio. Hull A with Top Hat Tyler in fourth. Vigo are in fifth. Surrey in sixth. In seventh, it's Coventry's A team. Southampton find themselves down in an uncharacteristic eighth. In ninth, it is Bolton. Meanwhile, University of Leicester are in 10th. In 11th, it's Strathclyde's B team, to my knowledge. Meanwhile, De Montfort are in 12th. Biscaya are in 13th. Aberdeen and McScottish are in 14th. University of Glasgow's A team, another Scottish team, in 15th there. Meanwhile, in Wales, it's Cardiff, and they are in 16th. I believe it's JJRacing in 17th. Hong Kong Polytechnic's B team in 18th. In 19th, it's Delft from Denmark, I should say, and not Germany. And University of Strathclyde's 80. Is it Dutch? What
Holland.
is Dutch?
Dutch is Holland.
Oh, is it? Oh, goodness.
Max
I'm so poor.
Right, we're going to end up correcting Giles for quite a long time at this rate. We'll quickly go through the jokers before Giles goes through our 6 red lights. So we got Leicester, we got Portsmouth, we got number 49 car of Campus Rain there in another server, but just in case you are supporting teams from another server, we may as well read them all anyway. And we got Strathclyde B, who are taking their jokers. So the ones to keep an eye on from this server, Leicester and Strathclyde B. Those are your jokers for server A.
Thank you very much,
Go,
Jess.
Giles.
Here come the lights for the first time for the Formula Student Sim Racing Series 2025-2026. Race 1, round 1. Lights are up. Up come the revs. Dylan Warren on pole. Can he start as he means to go on? Is the question. The lights go out, and we are underway for 35 minutes of wheel-to-wheel action, and it's a fantastic start for the top 3 teams. Queen Mary Formula Student side by side with Hertfordshire's A team. Dylan Warren pulling away as the pack bunches up into the very tight first right-hand corner. Can they all keep it clean? There is a lot of shifting of position immediately. Hertfordshire up into second. Queen Mary are back down into third. University of Strathclyde B up into 9th. Going down there is Biscaya. Falling away is Leicester as well. They're down into 20th. Hong Kong Polytechnic in 19th. And that is Bolton up into 6th. Hull A, Top Hat Tyler, you're on board with right now. They've got a rear view of Bolton and the front view of Vigo. Closing in on Vigo are Hull A. Queen Mary not a million miles away from the front of Vigo. Very, very close are the top 5 teams right out of the gate. This is going to be a moment then for Top Hat Tyler. York A leading. Hertfordshire's A team in 2nd. In 3rd, it's Queen Mary. Vigo in 4th. And Hull A rounding out the top 5.
Oh, so much close racing, Giles, and we've got the gravel just so close to the track. They might kick off some of the gravel as we're seeing Strathclyde B trying to go for a move on at Southampton in 7th place at the moment. And with how such technical the track is, I would expect maybe 1 or even 2 stops around this track. There will be some gambles, but I would expect drivers to make at least 1 stop, but I think everyone will probably do 2 stops, because if you try and do 1 stop, it'll be an absolute nightmare for the tyres right now. Queen Mary are jammed in 3rd, but we got Top Hat Tyler fighting in the back. Oh, they're just so close to the maiden. Strathclyde B fighting with Southampton. Who's going to get the job done? It is Strathclyde B that has got through the number 70 into P7, believe it or not. It's just so tight at the moment, but already some teams are starting to struggle. And don't forget, it's not just showing your sim racing powers, it's to make sure is your car set up right, because it is engineering based, of course, so the students got to make sure, right, what setup is designed for this track. Is it a track that's designed that can take the corners right, or is it a car that's designed for straight line speed? If you get it wrong, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. So Giles, they've got to get their setups correct. It's not just about the sim racing.
It really isn't, and Garibally has apparently given a masterclass, says literally England, as Hertfordshire's A team are up into 2nd. There's a big group of cars here. Biscaya in the middle of it. Darren Davison, let's go Top Hat. Evan Bolton saying Vigo have been top-hatted. Yes, indeed. Hull A up into 4th. Fastest laps from everyone. They're all getting to grips with the cars. Delft, meanwhile, duking it out here with Cardiff. Cardiff are nose ahead, but surely Delft are going to get them. This is going to be very close indeed into the right-hander. And that's Cardiff on the racing line. Delft ahead. Is Cardiff going to give it up? Of course they're not. They're Welsh after all. And this is very exciting indeed as the Dutch go wheel to wheel with the Welsh. And that is Delft up into 12th, relegating Cardiff into 13th. Fantastic racing right out of the gate. Bolton, meanwhile, in 6th. They've got Vigo ahead of them, getting very close to the edge of the track, making use of all the tarmac and the apex as well are Bolton. Or should we be calling them the University of Greater Manchester? It takes a while to say all of that. Cardiff have gone off then. Big disaster for Cardiff. They are down into last place. Whatever's happened to them has spelt disaster for their race. 31 minutes on the clock. Can they claw back some points in this inaugural race of the season? York A going away with it already with a 1.5 second lead on Hertfordshire's 18. Queen Mary hunting down Hertfordshire's 18 with a 0.2 gap between them. So as I was Hertfordshire, I'd be far more concerned with my rear view mirror than my front view right now. And that is indeed Queen Mary, our championship winners last season, hunting down 2nd place. A storming drive from Garibaldi. That was a great start from them. And here goes Strathclyde's B team side by side with Vigo and Bolton. This is excellent stuff, and that is Strathclyde's B team up into 6th. The Joker really paying off for them. Southampton and Bolton relegated behind them, and they've made contact. They didn't stay clean at all, and that is Southampton going away with it. You want to fight like that, fellas? I'm going to say bye-bye, and Southampton have gone away, leaving Strathclyde behind with Biscaya right in the middle of it, and Bolton coming back on them with Aberdeen and McScottish in the mix as well.
It's like the real life Brazil Grand Prix where I was like 8 cars fighting for like the top points position. This is absolutely insane from these guys, but it looks like some of them have got away scot-free. But in some corners, if they got a bit of a damage, that's going to cost some teams big time right now as Aberdeen. Oh, the Scottish almost got into the gravel there. Is Aberdeen, but I think they're okay. They also got to keep an eye on track limits because that is going to be something that the drivers will try and avoid. We got Aberdeen, who's got to worry more about De Montfort and Delft behind them, especially De Montfort of Dan, and we got Hong Kong Polytechnic B in the pits.
Are they in the pits though, Jess? That doesn't look to me to be a pit box. What are Hong Kong Polytechnic doing? Meanwhile, here comes Surrey. Surrey on the back end of Delft. They are side by side now. Delft are in the position that Cardiff were laps from earlier. And again, Surrey have pulled the exact same move on Delft that Delft pulled on Cardiff.
I wonder if the slipstream is helping them at the moment. I did just see a car almost go off the gravel track again. That's the number 59 car of Hong Kong Polytechnic. They're a lap down. That's why they're slowing down. Never mind. We got this car up to 7th because we got Strathclyde B. Oh no, they were doing so well, Strathclyde B. But they just had enough. This track is proving to be very difficult for a lot of our universities today, Giles.
Overtaking incredibly difficult. There's not a lot of room to maneuver. The racing line is where you need to be. Anytime off the racing line, you run the risk of hitting a curb and sending it into one of the gravel traps. And Strathclyde are really going to be scratching their heads at the moment. There's 28.5 minutes to go. They've run their Joker in the very first race. They've got to make sure it counts because the Joker is vital to a decent haul of points, and already Strathclyde's B team are down into 15th. That is not where they need to be. Meanwhile, you're on board with Surrey. They were battling out with Southampton, and York, Southampton, Strathclyde's A team, they were battling it out with. York A, meanwhile, battling out with absolutely no one. League of their own. Dylan Warren going away with it yet again with a gap of 2.23 seconds. It's just opening up like a chasm yet again. And here, meanwhile, you've got Hertfordshire's 18 in 2nd place with Garibaldi in the driver's seat there. Queen Mary Formula Student in 3rd. A wonderful angle that you can see here. The battle for 2nd is really where it's at for these teams because York, not a problem at all for them, but the battle for 2nd is a big one. And also the battle for 12th as Strathclyde's 18 come under pressure from Surrey, who I'm reliably informed are making a real go of it this year as the Sim Racing Series is concerned. And Strathclyde's 18 go wide and through goes Surrey seamlessly like a needle through a piece of cloth. Very nicely done. And that is Surrey up into 12th.
Nicely done from Surrey. Of course, I think there was a few races we saw in the top server last season from them, and they did quite well indeed. So, Surrey, if they could show off like they're doing here, then they could be on for a very good season, because the minimum you could score around here if you finish this race is 18 points. So being in the top server, I have to say, it's absolutely crucial, especially if you want to get into the top 10 of the Sim Racing series. You've got to be consistently in the top server. Vigo is around about 4 or 5 tenths behind Top Hat Tyler. He's going to try and go for a move in towards T1 with 26 minutes left on the clock. We also got Hole A fighting with Queen Mary, like we saw quite a bit from them last season. And we also got Hertfordshire A fighting with, actually no, it's Hertfordshire A fighting with Queen Mary. Never mind, you can tell it's the first race of the season. Aberdeen
have got they've got into it with De Montfort, and they've come off worse as a result of that. And that is Aberdeen down into 10th, and they're now under pressure from both Surrey and Delft. Surrey might want to start looking in their rearview mirrors, because Delft are on the charge. They did qualify higher than this, did Delft, and they've been making a charge back up the grid after losing position in the opening lap. Surrey in 11th, Delft in 12th, Aberdeen relegated down into 10th by De Montfort. Meanwhile, here's Hertfordshire's A team with a significant pressure from Queen Mary. Both teams competing in orange. Queen Mary, last year's race winners, overall championship winners, I should say. And I must say, Garibaldi, a lot of support for them on the chat, but that's not going to count for much when it's just wheel to wheel between themselves and Queen Mary. And we know that Queen Mary can do well because they won last year. So can they go one better? And can they go 2 for 2? Would be the first time since Glasgow that a team's done that. And this is an excellent driving strategy here from Queen Mary. They're pushing, but not to the point that they're losing it. They are just biding their time. Meanwhile,
saving their tires, Giles.
Vigo is a similar approach here from Vigo on Hull A. Top Hat Tyler, a renowned driver here in the Sim Racing series. As meanwhile, Strathclyde A team go again with Delft as they are back again, and Coventry weaving in behind them, just waiting for the opportunity, and away go Coventry. They lose the back end, and they're going to have to do all that again to catch up with the battle between Delft and Strathclyde's A team, and that is Strathclyde's B team taking full advantage of that off from Southampton. They go through on them, and that is Strathclyde B up into 14th. Let's give you the running order again as we approach the 24.5-minute mark. In the lead, did anyone really reckon it would be anything other? York A are in the lead. Hertfordshire's 18 in second. Queen Mary Formula Student in third. In fourth, it's Hull's 18. Vigo in fifth. Bizkaya, a great drive from them, subtly getting on with it and doing very, very well indeed. Formula Students overall winners last year. Southampton are in seventh. Bolton in 8th with De Montfort in 9th. Aberdeen are in 10th. Surrey in 11th. Delft in 12th. University of Strathclyde A in 13th. B in 14th, Coventry's 18th and 15th, Exeter in 16th, Cardiff in 17th. They made up 3 places, having lost it and gone right to the back of the grid earlier on. Leicester in 18th, Glasgow's Top Hat Tyler, meanwhile, then battling out with Vigo. Vigo are right there with them. Oh, it's happened! It's happened, and it's about to happen again! Oh my gosh, Jess! As Queen Mary and Hertfordshire took each other out, that allowed Vigo and Hull to catch up with them, and Hull have used it to put some distance between themselves and Vigo, and what was a sweaty position for Hull has turned out to pay dividends as they put Queen Mary between themselves and Vigo, who are on the charge. A remarkable turnaround for Top Hat Tyler, expertly played.
That was absolutely brilliant for Top Hat. I was just going to say about Vigo Queen Mary, how they weren't pushing enough. I think as they get towards the pit stop, I think they are starting to push to see if they can get some move before they go into the pit. So that's what some teams are doing. A best sim racer doesn't push it for the whole 35 minutes. For the first half of their stint, they can push, and then towards the end of their stint, that's where they can conserve their tyres and make sure they stay in the train, and then they're probably going to push it right before their pits. I won't be surprised if they come into the pits anytime soon.
Surrey through on De Montfort there. Surrey, I have been informed that they are really taking it seriously this year. And their team principal, Molly, a woman I admire deeply. I would follow Molly off a cliff. If you've got her as your boss, you're in safe hands as far as I'm concerned. And there we are then, De Montfort down into 10th. and there's a whole train building up behind the Mott. But you've got Aberdeen, Delft, and Strathclyde's A and B team all there. If Delft make one, the Mott make one wrong move, they are going to lose a lot of places. Coventry's A team on the charge behind the B team from Strathclyde. Meanwhile, 8 seconds, Jess. 8 seconds between the leaders, York, and the second place team, Hertfordshire A. That is how much that cost them, that drama between the second and third place teams. It's not even it's cost Queen Mary even more. They've been relegated out of the podium. They're down onto 4th.
But don't forget, Giles, of course, not every round counts towards the championship. So if this is the only round where they don't score that many points, then they could use it as a drop round. So there might be some teams that do rubbish here, but do very good towards the rest of the season, and it can help them in the end. So, yeah, if they don't do as well here and have an off, then it could be at their advantage, because they're at the start of the season, as we're seeing. Hull A, Queen Mary, they're all going at it once again with Vigo. Vigo fight with them, play a backseat in all of this. I think they're trying to go for the move with Queen Mary. Look at this, almost a double overtake. They got past one car. Are they going to get past Top Hat Tyler? We're going to have to wait and see. It's going to be a very hard corner to do so. Bumper to bumper, these 3 cars. Giles, we are back, and I'm buzzing.
Oh, we are back indeed, as Queen Mary loiter behind then both Vigo and Hull. There's not a lot separating these drivers as they battle for the final podium spot, and that is Strathclyde A in the pits. Is it only Strathclyde A? No, there's another team coming past through there. And who was that else in the pits as well? That's Strathclyde B.
So both the Strathclyde Scottish teams are decided to make their first pit stop now. Now that is interesting. Are they doing the same strategy? And did they just cut the pit lane? I don't even know. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. Or it might just be my brain fog. I don't know. It's the first round.
Clearly,
they're
running to the same strategy, Jess. Meanwhile, Queen Mary, this is going to be good. This is going to be really close as they go on the inside of Vigo through the left-hander onto the start-finish straight. That is Queen Mary with Vigo ahead of them, and Hull not very far ahead either. 3rd, 4th, and 5th, battling out again. Vigo go left, but swapping paint then with Hull, and Queen Mary getting very, very close indeed. There's smoke and springing out from the tyres as they lock up, and that is Vigo a nose ahead of Hull, getting very aggressive indeed. Top Hat Tyler unwilling to give an inch, and he pushes Vigo onto the grass, and Queen Mary looking to potentially to squeeze through the middle. That's never going to happen there, and Vigo have gone through on the inside on the right hand, and they switch back to cover them off on the left, and that is Hull battling out on the left side. They have got the inside line. Do Top Hat Tyler and Hull A. Queen Mary holding back, waiting for them to come together. It seems somewhat inevitable. Tyler for Hull just ahead, and he closes down Vigo, but Vigo looking for the inside line. They realise they haven't got it, and they close in, and Vigo's lost it. Vigo has lost it. The back end steps out, the oversteer kicks in, and they lose it into the gravel trap. And that is Queen Mary up into 4th. Vizcaya through on Vigo. Absolutely spectacular.
There you go. I think that's what Vizcaya are doing at the moment. They're just taking advantage of other people's mistakes, and they're making their way up through the field. It's nice to see. Of course, King's College London was a rookie team last year. I wonder who's going to be this year. At the moment, it's Vizcaya that's coming out on top, but there's plenty of other rookie teams that could be up there as well. Don't you worry, we'll let you know what's going on with Serba 2 later on. I'll be interested to see how that goes in that race. Meanwhile, Vico dropping way down the order. Southampton are going to try and get past into turn 1, the runner-up from last season, and it's just gone from bad to worse for Vigo, but they're going to go side by side, Giles.
They do indeed. Southampton really pushing it through there, nearly punting Vigo off the track. Vigo don't seem to have got their groove back after going off there. The car just seemed to disappear from underneath them as they were going wheel to wheel with Top Hat Tyler from Hull. They came out quite poorly from that, losing position to both Queen Mary and Vizcaya as a result, and they might be about to lose it to Southampton as well. Surrey in the mix, lurking in the background there as well. I'm struggling to breathe, it's that exciting. And you can see the view here from Surrey. You're on board with Surrey then, as Vigo look to the back end of Vizcaya. Southampton lurking in the background with Surrey waiting in the wings as well. And that's Vigo through on Vizcaya as the two English teams closing in on this battle for what I think is that 5th. That is indeed 5th, and that is an interesting move there from Surrey as they look to the inside of Southampton, swapping paint just a little bit. Oh, that's a big hit. That's a big bit of contact there between Southampton and Surrey. Did Surrey forget to brake, or did Southampton brake test them? I wouldn't like to be the judge. I wouldn't like to be the steward.
We'll leave that with the stewards, Giles, on that one, because I have no idea with that camber angle who's at fault. But yes, thank goodness we're not stewards, but the stewards, I think, in this series do a remarkable job, and usually they have a lot to look through each race. So fair play to them. Thank goodness they're the ones making the rules instead of us, because we would have no clue. We are just commentators at the end of the day. But yeah, Vigo got a lot of work to do. Same with Aberdeen, because they've got a chasing Dutch team right on their mirrors right now, as they're looking to go to try and chase down the top 10. Commentary not that far behind. Exeter making their way up. Queen Mary fighting with Top Hat Tyler once again. 4 tenths per second separating third and fourth. This is for the final spot on the podium within these teams. Pretty much the top two are running away with it. They're having a race of their own right now. As long as those two don't make mistakes, they're pretty much stuck in those two positions, which is great for York A, of course, but brilliant for Hertfordshire A. But Giles, there's a move going on once again. Queen Mary's going to try and take their nose in.
Queen Mary nose deep in the back end of Hull, slipstreaming down the start-finish straight. They've got to get very close indeed, looking maybe to make a move on the inside if they're allowed to. They're going to go to the outside. It's the only room they're allowed by Top Hat Tyler, who's defending like wild to hold on to that final podium position. Excellent stuff from these two stalwarts of the Formula Student Sim Racing Series. Both Hull and Queen Mary have had significant victories here in the past. And through goes Southampton on Surrey. Surrey right there with them. Bizkaya ahead. And that is Southampton up on Surrey. Surrey right there with them, going through on the inside. But Southampton are a nose ahead, blocking them down into 8th. And a fantastic move from Southampton. They're in 7th. And that's well played there. Meanwhile, here's Leicester all over the rear end of Cardiff. Cardiff have done rather well to get back from 20th. They find themselves now in 15th, so they have gone through on Leicester, but Leicester unwilling to give them an inch. Glasgow's 18, meanwhile, find themselves down in 17th. Not where they would have wanted to be, especially, Jess, was Glasgow one of the teams running their Joker? No, it was not. It was Leicester and Strathclyde B. Do apologise. Meanwhile, then, there is Strathclyde B. They are running their Joker, and they're down in 18th, which is an absolute disaster. Remember, the Joker lightens the car and allows them a bit more straight line speed, a bit better. And as a result of this, they need to make sure it counts. The points count when they use it. And to the pits goes Surrey from 8th. They are in the pits now. Bolton going through on them immediately. 14.5 minutes to go. The question is, what can they do here? Have they made the right call? Not many teams have pitted. I think these are only the third after the two teams from Strathclyde. Meanwhile, the comments going mad. Bilal saying it was dirty from Southampton earlier on. Meanwhile, literally England saying London is orange. Someone might want to get some water on that if it's turned orange. Meanwhile, Evan Park saying both Strathclyde have pitted. Yes, they have. So you can see now on your screens a brand new view that we've got for this season, the pit lane and the on-track action. There's Bizkaya coming through, and Surrey heading back out onto the track. London is white in football, but orange on track, and I'm not quite. What have I missed, Monty?
It's not quite.
Go on, Jess.
It's, I believe it is server 2, Monty.
It's a server 2. Guess who's joining us, guys?
It's only James. He's got long hair, he likes cars, and he's called James. But it's not James May. It is, in fact, the wonderful James Greenhill Underwood. James, what have you got for us? Excellent stuff. Thank you very much, James. Who do you reckon is going to clinch it then? Is it a strong showing, or is it up for grabs? Fantastic. Thank you very much, James. Hull's alumni team leading in server 2. Meanwhile, Bizkaya have pitted here in server 1 and are back out on track. You're with Coventry, who are chasing down Delft, who are now up into the top 10. And in terms of James, apparently you have no James. I can only apologise, but in summary, from what you didn't hear there, is that Hull's alumni team are leading with a 12-second gap, and I believe York's B team are languishing down in around 13th in server 2. That is the cut and thrust of it. I can only apologise. Meanwhile, Delft are in 10th with pressure on them from Coventry's A team. Delft, one of the most successful Formula student teams in the world, hailing from Holland. There we go, because they're Dutch.
Yes.
And I've learned something tonight. See, even if you're doing a PhD, you can still learn things. Thank you very much, Jess. I try. It's late in the evening and I'm just getting over a cold. But anyway, Delft are under pressure from Coventry. I don't know about you, Jess. I might have been expecting a bit more from Delft than only rounding out the top 10.
I'm expecting as well, but don't forget they are a brand new team to the series, and maybe they're just getting used to it. I don't know. I also do believe they also have one driver entry this evening as well, so they got a lot of work to do, but they're going to score some decent points, and they're in the top server. So if the rookie team is in a top server, that is progress in my eyes, of course, but they are going to get, if they are one driver entry next time out, they're going to lose out on a lot of points. But since it's the first round, then they're going to have the same points as usual tonight.
That's a big off, Jess. That's a huge off for Glasgow. Out of nowhere, the car just disappeared from underneath them in a cloud of tyre smoke as they locked up, and that is an absolute disaster for Glasgow's A team, who are down into 15th. Exeter taking full advantage of that and singing on through, saying thank you and goodbye. Meanwhile, Jessica says, hi, Giles. Much love from Monty's sister in Jersey. Love you too, Jess. I love you too, Jessica. She's wonderful, is Jessica. Meanwhile, James, where is University Hertfordshire's B team, says literally England. James, if you're out there and you're hearing this, if you could just drop us a line as to where Hertfordshire's B team are before literally England has an aneurysm. Meanwhile, Exeter looking rather good, but who are looking even better are York with a whole 10 seconds on Hertfordshire's A team. They're in second place at the moment.
Hertfordshire B.
Hertfordshire's B team are in P16. Thank you very much, Japwood, for that. That is, of course, James
in server 2.
Greenhill Upward. That is in server 2. Yes, Jess. Meanwhile, you can see on your screens there, honestly, Jess, nothing short of an intervention by God is going to stop York A from winning this one, I think.
11 seconds. They could literally pit now and still come out ahead, really, to be honest. I am really impressed at the moment. Of course, I can't wait to see how their second driver does tonight, but they've chosen one of their more experienced drivers to do the longest race because they got the most to gain in that situation, of course. So, you know, they're doing a great job. They are the ones on the title charge this season. They finished third last season, which I have to say is quite remarkable because they were 4th for the last half of last season until they had a very great Finals A, which moved them up into P3 in the overall title race. Are they going to challenge the likes of Cream Air and Southampton? Well, from this race, it looks like they are going to be doing so, as we're seeing the University of Surrey having a really intense battle with Glasgow A, as Surrey is just about ahead of them right now. But I'm excited to see how Exeter A do, because they just come into the pit for their stop. I think some people might just do a splash and dash because they want less fuel in the to go, because it's considerably faster, but will that cost them in the long run? We'll have to wait and see. I'm surprised that the top 3 have not pitted yet. I am really surprised, because I think we will see some of the other teams try and catch up. But there's not many teams that have done even one stop, so
I'm beginning to wonder.
I'm shocked, because I thought they would have done 2.
Well, that's why I've just put onto the chat, I'm asking people to drop us a line and give us an insight into their pit stop strategies, because not a lot of the field have pitted, as you've been saying there. So James Lammercraft has just said, simple, don't pit. I mean, I'll be interested to see whether it works or whether teams are going to end up doing an Oxford, as we saw last season. Meanwhile, Coventry's A team on the charge, chasing down Delft and chasing into the gravel trap. Well avoided there with some last-minute exuberant braking from Coventry. Otherwise, that would have been a straight line into the gravel trap. These cars seemingly not always the easiest to handle. Meanwhile, Shum family saying, keep going, Aberdeen, Scotland, indeed. Liam O'Sullivan says, I'm assuming go fast. Meanwhile, Garibaldi says, don't smash it, says literally England, cheering them on. I must say, the commitment to the bit from literally England has been really nice to see on the chat. Don't forget you can join us on YouTube if you're listening to this on Express Radio, or if you're out and about, do tune in to Express Radio where you can catch all the coverage. Meanwhile, Bizkaya struggling there, Jess. They must have gone off because, in fact, no, they're battling it out with Glasgow's A-team, and that's rather slow. They pitted. Is that what happened there?
Yeah, they pitted earlier. And whilst we were talking about the Server 2, they did do their one and only stop, which... I don't know. With people in the chat saying don't pit, have they made the wrong decision?
I'm interested in this. So James Lamacraft has come in saying you can make it on fuel, but the tyres, it is a bit tight, and we're beginning to see that. We saw that just now with one of the teams. Who was it? Just was it Coventry? It was Coventry. He just locked up.
Yeah, it was Coventry.
Glasgow's A-team had a similar situation. The tyre degradation clearly building up with 6 minutes to go on the clock. So I do think that it is going to get quite testy with the grip, as these drivers do chance it in the fact that they're not going to do an Oxford and run out of fuel, but they may well end up dancing on ice and doing a Bolero as Bizkaya try to get through on Glasgow's 18. Glasgow's 18 looking a bit squiffy there. You can see the lack of grip is really playing in to the driving style of the drivers now, as round the outside go Bizkaya on the right-hander into the start-finish straight, and they are ahead. Bizkaya down the start-finish straight. They close off Glasgow onto the racing line as they take the next right-hander to start another lap with 5 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. Bizkaya up into 15th. Behind them, Glasgow and Strathclyde B come together, and that allows Bizkaya to get away. And Massive Dodd says if you were going to pit, you would have by now.
Yes.
So there it is then. Unfortunately for those teams at the moment, they are going to have to deal with appalling tyres as far as I can make out, because they've chosen to stay out there, so they're going to have to make the best of a bad situation. And that is Delft closing in again on Aberdeen, closing in very nicely, and they sweep to the inside and they go back into the position. They decide not to chance it through on the left-hander up into the start-finish straight. This does seem to be where drivers are considering making a move, but not all of them actually do stick with it. As evidenced there, Delft backed off. They thought better of it, and they returned to the back end of Aberdeen rather than making a move for 9th.
I think Delft are playing it absolutely smart here. If they don't think they could go for it, they're not going for it. They want to see whether they can gain time, and they will have lost a bit of time trying to go for it and not going for it. So, yeah, Delft, I have to say, very impressed with Delft so far, chasing down Aberdeen. We also got Strathclyde B who would have been up there without that spin now, and that's why they had to pit, I think, as well. But they were doing the same strategy as their A-team, as Strathclyde B are going to try and go for the move on Glasgow 18 through into turn number 1, and the Strathclyde B seems to be the strongest of the Scottish teams down the back, but Aberdeen is the strongest Scottish team at the moment in Server A, as they got past Delft yet again through into 9th.
Absolutely fantastic stuff from all the teams involved. Surrey going through on University of Leicester. Polar Bear 071 saying pitting seems to be a bad move so far. Yes, indeed, those teams that have chosen to pit do find themselves towards the back end of the grid. They haven't made much progress, so potentially holding on with ever-degrading tyres may be the better move to make. Meanwhile, you're on board with Southampton as they are trying to find a way past Vigo to get into the top 5. They go round the outside into turn 1. Vigo have the racing line on the inside of this right-hander. Through they go then, and that is Vigo holding on, closing down Southampton. Southampton, meanwhile, behind them have got both Bolton and de Montfort to contend with, but right now they are very, very close indeed. Through the sweeping right-hander of the hairpin they go. Southampton trying to find a way through on Vigo. Vigo, though, giving them no room whatsoever, holding the racing line like their life depends on it, and defending very, very well, going on to the apex, making use of all the tarmac they possibly can. Round the left-hander they go, and they are just closing them down. Southampton have nowhere to go here, Jess, but now they go to the inside, and they come together, and it's an absolute disaster. It is an absolute disaster. Southampton made a brave and bold move on the inside, and it just did not work at all. And I can't help but think that Southampton were at fault there, and that's taken Vigo out with them. And Aberdeen have gone through to take 8th. Delft go through as well. They're up into 9th. Southampton recovering better from that out of the gravel trap than Vigo did. And if I was Vigo, I'd be taking a very, very quick visit to the steward's office as soon as possible.
Whenever the steward's office opens, of course, which will be after the race. But yeah, that is very gutted for Vigo and Southampton, who looked like they were having a very good fight up until that point, which is allowing the likes of Delt to try and close in on Southampton, which looks like they're struggling. Maybe the tyres are starting to get to some of these teams as Delt tried to go through on the inside line as Southampton covers them off. Coventry A is also in at the top 10, so they were the ones who took advantage in this as well, Giles.
Yes, indeed, the top 10 having a real rejig as a result of that drama between Vigo and Southampton. Plenty of comments coming in. Billy Sturdy saying, what do we want? Race car noises. When do we want them? Meow. Meanwhile, Bryn potentially suggesting that as students, we actually probably want money and alcohol. You might say that, I couldn't possibly comment. Coventry rounding out your top 10 under pressure from a rather disgruntled Vigo, who came together with Southampton. Southampton making a lunge on the inside, and it just did not go well for either of them. Both of them ended up in the gravel trap. Vigo beached more than Southampton, and that was Vigo relegated down into 11th. Although that might be about to change as they try for 10th, and they put immense pressure on Coventry. They look to the right-hand side. Can they make a move? Have they gone to the left? I can't see the mirrors. But are we about to see Vigo coming through? Yes, we do. Vigo go back up into 10th with a fantastic move down the left side of Coventry through that left-hander, and Coventry pulling the exact same move on Vigo, but they can't quite make it work into the start-finish straight. And that is Vigo holding on to 10th, closing down Coventry's A team as they make a charge with 44 seconds left on the clock. This will be the final lap. Locking up there are Aberdeen. Clearly the tyres not what they once were. And Coventry's A team goes side by side with Vigo. They don't quite make it work, but this could be, well, a race to the line to round out the top 10, Jess.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be interesting in terms of how they handle that. I believe York A will be starting the final lap of this race. And they seem to be struggling a little bit on the tyre wear because Hertfordshire A team is closing in just a little bit. And maybe it's a little too late on that one, but I think York A was struggling to get past some lap traffic. So we've got 3 cars, Glasgow, Exeter and Hong Kong Polytechnic that are lapped down. So I think that's why Dylan lost a bit of time there trying to get past lap traffic. But final lap, pretty much, York A will be the lead from start to finish. If they win this race, I'm going to... you could get the lotto numbers for me. It's Bizkaya was struggling a little bit there on Cardiff. They're losing a bit of ground, it seems. I think they must have struggled a few corners before this. What's happened?
Losing grip as the tyres go away. That is York A with a dominant and commanding lead of 7.5 seconds. It was a little more earlier, but as Jess was saying, they seem to have struggled to get past Glasgow's A team. And as a result, that gap is dropping. Is it dropping because of Glasgow, or is it dropping because the tyres are going away? Because, Jess, is it me, or is that gap between University of Hertfordshire? I don't know. Jess, this is quite remarkable, but look at this. The gap is just tumbling now. 6.7 seconds. It was 7.5 only a few moments ago. Yes, that is York A struggling towards the line. They are going to do it. I can't see them not doing it, Jess. Yes, here comes the line, but it wasn't quite as commanding as we thought it was. They've only just managed it across the line. 7 seconds is still huge, but it was a lot bigger earlier on. Crossing the line then, saved by the bell. Yorkshire take the first win of the season. Hertfordshire's 18 following them across the line and rounding out the top 3. It's Queen Mary, formerly a student, that will take 3rd, with Hull's 18 and Top Hat Tyler. A fantastic drive from him in 4th. Bolton will cross the line in 5th. And boy howdy, is that a way to kick off the season.
We are back, Giles. We are back, and what some entertaining races battles that we've had all through the field. They were giving it absolutely everything, and we didn't even know which strategy. We thought that it was going to be a 2-stop due to what we experienced earlier in terms of the track characteristics. There were drivers that made it work and were able to go top of the timings like York A and stuff. But Queen Mary, their championship, and York A got off to a very great start with the podium positions. York are going to pull off their title charge, it seems, this season. They're doing extraordinarily well to try and beat Queen Mary this season. But Queen Mary, they're showing that they're consistent self. They don't necessarily have to win every race to win the title. So P3 for them, they'll be happy with that, but they're going to want more.
Eogan Farron, I'd just like to clarify my comment because he has pointed out quite rightly, just managed it. They led from start to finish. Yes, they did. Undeniably, York did. But I just couldn't help but see that the gap was shrinking quite rapidly and may well have disappeared within another couple of laps. So they managed it, and they did manage it. And you are right. I can't quite articulate. I'm hoping someone can understand what I mean. They totally dominated, but the gap was closing. That was closing. I don't know how to articulate it. Someone help me out here. I talk too much.
It's just the tyres were just struggling at the end, which meant that what York A had to do was manage it. They couldn't afford to go full pelt towards the end, so they because of the gap they had, they literally could just conserve for the last couple of laps to make sure they would get to the end of the race and not lose it, because it's better to not go full pelt. So yeah, there we go.
That's what I meant. See, Jess knows what I mean. As long as Jess knows what I mean, it's
fine.
I'm
a sim racer.
Meanwhile, all the comments coming in, and James has announced over in Server 2 that Hull alumni were the winners, with Yui in P2 and Gullum Ishak in P3. Meanwhile, Amelia, rightfully so, saying incredible recovery drive from Hugo from being P20 after the first lap. Absolutely. Meanwhile, Alexander Grinter, or Ginter I should say, says, big fan of Monty's stash. Yes, we are as well. We all really like it. It's giving Magnum PI. You just needs to find one of his Hawaiian shirts. He's got plenty of them.
Many, many of them. This is a 1 month special. I do this every year, so you're welcome, guys.
Meanwhile, the PSGL driver wins. Shock horror, says Bryn Lamb. Again, to paraphrase the original House of Cards, you might say that. I couldn't possibly comment. Meanwhile, can we talk about the UHB calamity in Server 2? Literally England. We weren't watching Server 2. We got no idea what went on. You have to tell us. Meanwhile, yes, Surrey P10. What a last lap, says Bilal Sayed. Meanwhile, I always preferred Server 2 anyways, says Massive Dodd. And DK is asking, do we have the fastest lap? Not quite yet. We'll be able to provide that later on for you. And usually around this time, we will try and get you an interview with Dylan Warren. It's the first of the season. Having said that, I don't think it will be the last. Not often I get annoyed from only finishing P9. Scottish there for Aberdeen. A sterling drive. York on York violence in Server 2, says Suleiman Hussein, or Sulabob, as he's put in brackets.
I'm guessing that was York B and York Alumni.
I should imagine it would have been, Jess. I should imagine it would have been. So plenty more action going on elsewhere. We'll be able to bring you a roundup of the Server 2 action later on. We'll try and get hold of James. We'd also really like to try and get hold of Dylan Warren to talk you through that first race victory, that resounding dominant drive. Really, really impeccable stuff. There was no stopping him. The lights went out, away he went, and everybody else was in the rearview mirror. It was somewhat inevitable, like Thanos, but on four wheels. Meanwhile, we've also got to talk to you about what we usually do in this time of the commentary coverage, the Formula Student News. This is the bit where you get to be involved, and we'd love to hear from you. We loved hearing from you last season. We never do it during round one because everybody's only just really finding their feet by that point. But this time next month, we'd love to hear from you. VTs, TikToks, newsletters, all of it. It's your time to be interactive with the Formula Student community as a whole. So don't worry about whether it's about your sim racing team or whether it's about your full Formula Student team, whether you're building a car, whether you're concept class. We are not worried. We want to hear from you. Get in touch. I will be sending the emails out requesting your media teams to send us content over the next week. So keep an eye on your inbox. And we want to hear from you. Please do get in touch. It would be great. We've had some fantastic VTs over the past season. The IMECI themselves, apparently they're watching. Hello, big cheeses. They really, really enjoyed the Formula Student News. They really enjoyed seeing what you guys get up to in the remainder of the year when you're not at Silverstone. So please send in everything that you can. The only thing that we would request is that please don't use anything that can be copyright claimed. So we don't, as much as like I am a massive fan of Sabrina Carpenter, she can put pink fuzzy handcuffs on me anytime. I want to be arrested by Sabrina Carpenter. As much as, you know, I'm a massive fan of Sabrina, we'd rather you weren't using Sabrina's music or any pop music that a record label is going to claim and then ruin the stream for us. So please make sure it's all copyright free. We love memes as well. Memes are great. We've had some great memes over the years. Apparently someone used my voice tonight in a what was it earlier on?
In the driver's briefing, you are in a soundboard, Giles.
News to me, and I can't even remember saying what apparently someone's turned into a soundboard. So who knows? Someone suggested
Monty
that my
will
voice.
show you later at the end of the stream.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I'll show it to you guys later, but just before we do anything else, I do have a VT of highlights of Formula Student 2025 ready to go now if you want to do that. And then by the time we're done with that video, Dylan will be ready to interview.
Absolutely, let's have it.
I'm up for that. Are you up for that?
Always.
Very
Roll
good.
VT. All the fun of the fair. Highlights there from Formula Student 2025, live from Silverstone, courtesy of the IMECI and Viz Media. So thank you very much to them. Absolutely wonderful stuff. Talking of wonderful stuff, it was a dominant drive there in the first race of the season from Mr. Dylan Warren of York's A-Team. I'm going to pass you over to Jess to chat to our first race winner of the year.
Having to run those tyres the whole race, and then also worrying about the strategy beforehand as well. Pretty tiring. Thankfully my life was made a bit easier by the crash behind me, but yeah, if it wasn't for that, the last few laps are going to be a bit tense.
Yeah, because there was a lot of people deciding what strategy to go on. What made you not stop, despite the fact that you were struggling towards the end there? What was it, because you were going to lose time and track position potentially? Because it seems to me that the zero stop was the right one to be on tonight.
Yeah, I think the zero stop was definitely the right one to be on. The decision was more between which tyres you run on for strategy. At least in qualifying, that was the main decision that we had to make. But for the race, I think it was obvious that we were going to run hards. Super hards were just too slow, and there's warm-up issues on those tires. The hards were the only tires that didn't have either warm-up issues or like over cold tires. So yeah, I think a no stop was pretty quickly decided between our team, because we did a few laps. We never did a full race run, sort of under practice for this one, but still I think that's the case for a lot of people anyway, with exams and whatnot. And we had to sort of sort it in the moment. We had a lot of fuel. It was our main issue, but well, besides tires. But yeah, I think it's pretty simple strategy-wise for a no stop.
Yeah, which definitely worked for you. So well done on that one. Of course, you're in your second season in FS. You've got some really strong teammates this season as well. Where do you think what's your goal for this season in terms of a championship in the sim race? And of course, you finished third last season, which is amazing. Sure, you're going to aim higher for that this season. Well, what's your aim?
I mean, logically, you'd think so. I think the aim for basically every team within the top like 10, 15, basically every team really, is to win. So that's what we're going to try to go for. Obviously, we've had a bit of a roster lineup change. We've got an alumni team now as well, which has taken away a couple of our drivers, but we've got everyone here for engineering challenges, and we've got some new drivers as well. So hopefully we should still be competitive. Obviously, as we've demonstrated, we still are. Now it's just for the sprint. We'll see how we get on with that. Because obviously last year we didn't win a single round, but we just were consistent through the whole time. Besides round 1, obviously. But yeah, go for the win this time.
Yeah, and of course, engineering challenge. We'll go through a little bit that in just a minute on how that's important. What do you think you've learned, or what your team has learned from last season to go on to this season of the engineering challenge?
Well, especially you definitely had to do them. That's the start of last year. It was just me driving laps along for hours, trying to figure out what to do with strategy. But obviously we've got like a baseline of what we should try to do. Obviously every single challenge is different, so we can't do the same thing every single time. Last year we were pretty consistent with the results. Maybe not, we weren't first ever, but we were still somewhere in the ballpark, top 5, top 6. Obviously that's what we're going to try to do again. Hopefully go better, but yeah, we've got a larger team, more engineering people in the background now, so hopefully we can do better. But yeah, I'm not too involved in writing it, so you'd need to ask someone else, unfortunately.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm very, very glad that your university is investing in lots more people to help with the engineering side, because that's what Formula Student is all about. Giles, do you have any questions for our race winner?
To be honest with you, I just wondered, it looked to me towards the end of your stint, I mean, obviously it was an absolutely dominant drive. It did look towards the end that the gap was dropping. Were the tyres just ice at this point and there was just no grip left?
Literally, the tyres were on 0. I have a percent bar. I put it in the chat as well. I put a photo of it. I'm not sure you'll be able to pull it up, but both my right tyres were 0%. So they were just like gone. So I was just driving on ice, trying to avoid curbs, brake a lot earlier. I think I went deep time, won about 4 laps in a row, which was embarrassing on my part. But yeah, nothing too much. But obviously I had a gap, and we were trying to tyre save through the race. But obviously we didn't do race runs beforehand, like a full race run, so we didn't know how to behave past lap 17. So I was trying to do one, and my PC crashed. So yeah, we just tried to manage it, but the management, I tried to manage them, and it just made no difference. So obviously I can see the percentage if it starts on my 36 settings, it did good 32 after that, and it just never changed regardless how I changed my driving. So it must be a setup problem, because we ran the same setup in qualifying in the race, minus like 1 or 2 things. So what, changing ride height and a change in roll bar to make it more stable, but the front was wearing, so maybe that caused more problems. But I don't know, it's something we need to look at, because we had the same problem last year in the Formula 1 cars as well. Our tyres would just drop off towards the end. Like even in that race we had a harder compound and we still had tyre problems. So hopefully if we have a situation like this where we've got the tyres wearing down a lot, we won't have that problem again. But it seems to be a recurring issue.
You've managed to make it work though for this one, Dylan. So fair play. I'm sharing on the screen now the image you put on Discord, and yeah, just for the audience benefit, you can see the right hand side tyres there. They are what they would call in the engineering world as being dead. So no wonder you were losing seconds on hands in the last couple of laps there. So very well managed, Dylan. That's
yeah. I've seen Vigo saying that they've cooked the tyres up to sparks. And apparently one of our drivers in the server 2 got a puncture, or was close to a puncture.
Oh no.
And obviously they're running on a similar setup as well, if not the same setup. So yeah, it's obviously a setup issue. I can't imagine Vigo's running a setup too different either. So yeah, I don't know, a problem that we'll need to look at, because it's a recurring one now, and if it wasn't for either the crash or the pace at the start, who knows what the result would have been.
So what you're saying is we shouldn't assume you're going to win every time this year.
I mean, I won't say that.
Monty!
Of course he wouldn't say that. It's Dylan after all. Let's be honest with you.
No,
He's hardly going to do himself down.
There'll be races with jokers and stuff where we run something different to another team. So obviously we're not gonna win every race. I wouldn't expect it. I think it's unreasonable to. Obviously you'd want to, but yeah, it's too much.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, Dylan. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, guys.
Well done, Dylan.
Cheers, Dylan.
Yeah, thank you.
And there is your first racer of the year. I doubt it will be the last time we see him. That is Dylan Warren of York A, joining us virtually in the commentary box after a dominant drive in the first race of round 1 of the Formula Student Sim Racing Series 2025-2026. Very exciting action around the track, across the board, except at the front, where Dylan was just in a league of his own, but apparently, unbeknownst to us, still struggling. So clearly, all to play for, and it just proves how important that strategy and that car setup, as you were saying earlier on, Jess, is to the success of these drivers. We are now going to be able to do Formula Student News proper. So let me just remind you that the Formula Student News is the section of the broadcast where you get in touch with us and you tell us how you're getting on in the real world with the build of your cars. You send us updates. So previously Exeter have sent us videos of their car doing a static engine test. Leicester put us on the mailing list for their monthly update, and we would give that a readout every month. We had some really, really lovely videos from De Montfort showing us them dusting off their old internal combustion engine car as they built Sabrina, who did remarkably well at Silverstone. She was a great car, really fun stuff. And you
Finish
can be a part
endurance.
of it. Yeah, exactly. And you can be a part of it too. All you have to do is get in touch with myself and Monty. I take charge of this little section because it's just something I quite enjoy doing. I'll send out the emails to your media teams over the course of the next week. And I just want as much content as possible that we can fill this section between the first and the second race with. Whether it's memes, TikToks, documentary videos, interviews with the teams, even we'll just read out a newsletter. We want to hear from you. So please do get in touch. I'll send out the email shortly. We've also got to talk to you about upcoming dates in the Formula Student calendar, because this time of year before Christmas, you might think there's nothing going on, when actually there's quite a bit. There is quite a bit. So shall we get into, we'll get on with the first one, because this deadline's not a million miles away. The deadline to apply for the Formula Student Financial Award is coming up. The deadline is the 1st of December, 2025. You can enter your applications and secure up to £4,500 to enhance your team's entry for the upcoming Formula Student season. You head over to the Formula Student Financial Awards page on the IMECE website. There we go. It's almost like we planned it. Do please make sure you get your team's entries in before the 1st of December. Best of luck with your applications. Meanwhile, registration for Formula Student 2026 is open now. It closes on the 5th of December. The deadline is the 5th of December. So make sure if you want your teams competing at Silverstone, whether that is as a concept class, whether that's as a Formula Student class, building the cars, getting them out on track through scrutineering. AI as well, Jess. Yes, indeed. If you're building kit from Knight Rider, make sure you are registering now. We need to hear from you. And if you need someone to provide the voice for your artificial intelligence car, then all you have to do is write to me. It's a couple of cans of Thatcher's. That's all I need for payment. Meanwhile... Also, I'm from Somerset. What else are you going to do? Actually, I'm half Scottish, so whiskey wouldn't go amiss either. Meanwhile, IPG Automotive Car Maker, the license registrations for 2026 are open now, and the updated package for Car Maker 14.1.1 is available to download now. You will need to do that as part of your Formula Student entry, so make sure you are getting that downloaded for your teams on your screen now. The wonderful people at IPG who sponsor the Formula Student Simulation section. You can download the new update, Car Maker 14.1.1. The package updated for Formula Student is available now, so make sure you get onto that. It's points. And it's points like the sim racing, like I say sim racing, the lap sim is part of the main Formula Students segment. It's stuff like the lap sim that can actually pay the difference between a team in first place and a team in second place. It's well worth doing. And honestly, it just takes a couple of people with a laptop. From personal experience, I was in Nice. My flight got cancelled. The airline put us up in a hotel. I had a laptop. I had free wine and crisps. And I did my lap sim entry for my team in my final year over the course of 48 hours in France. And we didn't do particularly well. I think we're like 17th. But having said that, if you put several months' effort into it rather than 2 days in a hotel room in Nice, think of the possibilities.
Don't do it last minute, please.
You just saved yourself there, Giles. I was about to say you're doing this a massive disservice until you said where you came at position-wise. So yes, if you guys put effort into it, you would get even more points.
Exactly. So yeah, don't do what I did. Don't fuel yourself with wine and crisps in a hotel room. Actually, put some...
Start it ASAP.
Absolutely.
Organise yourself.
Absolutely. Right, what's next on your list, Giles?
Next on my list is to talk about one of the things that separates the Formula Student Sim Racing Series from any other sim racing series on the planet. Because not only is this a fantastic global event, but we are tied in with the Institute of Mechanical Engineers. We're training up the next generation of engineers in mechanical engineering and automotive engineering. And to do this, we do what are called the engineering challenges. They get launched from round 2 onwards, and they involve giving the teams a brief. It's usually an A4 piece of paper tied in with the respective round that it gets announced for, where the teams have a budget as though they were actual automotive engineers, and they've got to accomplish a certain task within certain limits, and then summarize their design choices and explain why it benefits the lap time of the car within an A4 sheet of paper, as you would do in industry. And a win in the engineering challenges is the equivalent to a win on track. So it is huge, and it can make all the difference, as we've seen over the past couple of years. So with more, I believe, Monty, you've got a VT.
I do have a VT. So to kick things off, guys, I've got a 6-minute VT for you guys. It's me interviewing the champion of the engineering challenge. Not champion as in the one who won it. That was bad England from me. Silly Monty. Let's try that one again. This is me interviewing, what do we want to call him? The guy who owns it. My brain's gone dead. Help me out, guys.
One of the sponsors behind it.
Not sponsors. There's a word I'm looking for
the
here.
Big Boss.
The Big Boss. Let's call him the Big Boss. His name's
Read
also...
the rules.
Yes, his name is also James. He knows a lot about engineering challenges, and without him, we wouldn't be able to do these challenges, because he comes up with the ideas, he creates the initiatives, and he also leads the team of judges who marks all the work with it. I'll go and take 5 minutes, go and grab a coffee. You go and watch this to find out what the challenges are about, and then we'll have a much more detailed conversation about it afterwards. Roll the VT, Monty. Yes, sir.
I'm a former University of Portsmouth student. I competed in Formula Student for 7 years. I've been a design judge for the last 2 years at Formula Student UK, and I've been sim racing for 11 years. I'm a design engineer with previous experience in aerospace. Now I work for Kenwood designing kitchen machines.
So, James, we've been running the engineering challenges this year. You've essentially been leading the judging criteria on this, and for a better word, putting together the challenges in the sense of defining what it is we want the students to learn from this. So would you mind giving us a description of what it is we're looking for and kind of how the challenges were built?
So we created the engineering challenge to encourage the students to apply their engineering principles and practices into their sim racing. So the students are given a realistic brief, putting them in the position of a race engineer who has to engineer the car, varying the setup parameters in order to improve the lap time. So we've asked them to use the Motec software, which essentially is a data logging program within sim racing, so then they can analyze the car performance using actual engineering parameters and then applying that back into improving their lap time. So the judging is split into 4 categories: engineering approach, rationale, justification, and the lap time, which they set their time using the setup that they created. So the teams are asked to submit an A4 page, and that can effectively communicate the work that they've done to understand the car's characteristics and how they've improved the lap time by adjusting settings on the car, whether this is suspension, aerodynamics, tyres, or gears. This helps the student to improve their engineering communication skills but being able to communicate complex data in a quick and efficient manner is a vital skill. It also helps develop their analysis skills, encouraging them to become more rounded engineers. And the engineering challenge scores go towards the Sim Racing Series championship points, so it helps the teams climb up the championship rankings.
What are we looking for? What are judges looking for in these challenges? How do the students submit the challenges for a start, and what is it we're looking for in these submissions?
So the students submit an A4 sheet of paper with a template that we set out that will then be split into the individual categories of engineering approach, rationale and justification. And we really want to see that they take an iterative approach, looking at the data and using data-led decision making to improve the lap time. The students may have to compromise on their setups, where, for example, if they're looking at aerodynamics, they can adjust their front and rear wings. Obviously, if you increase your wing angle, then it will impact your top speed. And if you decrease your wing angle, you'll have a higher top speed. So maybe in some corners you want more angle, and other corners you don't want as much. So we want to see them analysing the car throughout the whole track and actually determining what's the best setup, what's the best compromise throughout that lap to get the best performance out of the car.
Right, but they've only got a single page to put all this information down in, so is there a magic way of being able to get this information relayed?
There's no magic way to present it. It's just like an elevator pitch. In engineering meetings, you don't have much time to actually convey your message across from all your engineering analysis. So this is a great example where students can learn these skills already, where they have to do an elevator pitch essentially to us, communicate that information. So we want to see lots of graphs, because a graph is a really good way of presenting a lot of data. And it's up to the students to be as creative as they can to think of how they can communicate that information as effectively as possible to us.
What good and what bad examples have you seen so far this year? Without naming and shaming, but what has really stood out to you as being a good example of someone submitting their work? What didn't appeal to you best? Why were they given a weaker score?
We start on the positives. So the teams that have submitted the best entries have just been very clever at the way that they're communicating their information. They've been really clear and concise, and you can look at it and literally within 10 seconds you can pick up exactly what they're trying to communicate to you. And I think that's the most important thing. The analysis that they're doing, some of the teams are going into a lot of detail, which is very impressive, but obviously if you can't communicate that information, then it doesn't actually come across very well. So the best teams have been the ones that have communicated the best information across to us, and we can clearly identify what they're trying to show us. And they're looking at every single parameter, and they're really understanding the principles that they're applying. And it's not just guesswork, it is actually, applied theory into an engineering practice. So I think on the flip side of that, what you'll see is some of the teams that aren't as good maybe haven't done their homework and researched actually what the core principles are, what are the fundamentals that cause a car to understeer or oversteer. They really need to understand that, so then when they look at the data, they're looking at the right bit of data, and then when they're communicating that back to us, they're communicating it in a really efficient way. They've got a nice graph. Some of the worst teams, maybe they don't even have a graph to show us, and so we can't take anything from that. It's just a load of words, and that we can't just assume that their words are correct.
That's a very valid point you make there, and I think some of the feedback we've had from some of the judges this year is some of the submissions have been very word focused, and 1,000 words will speak 1,000 words. However, a graph, a chart can sometimes do those 1,000 words for you without iterating a single word.
Exactly, yeah. Actually being able to quickly glance at a graph, you can take so much more information from it than a big body of text. Especially as I'm dyslexic, it's not so easy to read. I think if it's just really to reiterate to the students how important this challenge actually is, it might look like a bit of extra work on the side, but really it's learning a lot of key skills that you need in industry. And those skills, once you're in the workplace, they'll take you further quicker, because you can already do something that it's very difficult. It's very difficult to communicate that data that you've collected and to churn that then into a result and communicate that effectively to your wider team. It's very important, and that will help you going through design reviews, going through all your stages in your engineering technical career.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, James.
That's all right. Thank you.
Hello, I think we're back. Talk about by the seat of your pants. Welcome back to the Formula Student Sim Racing Series virtual commentary box. And that right there was James Tatham and Monty discussing the engineering challenges, which hopefully will give you a bit more understanding of the breadth of skill that we install in those that take part in this series. It's not all about wheel-to-wheel action. We quite like the wheel-to-wheel action, but there is also more to it than just that. So thank you very much for sticking with us. Hopefully we'll be able to bring you live visuals of the second race very, very soon. It's a sprint race coming up, so there will be no tyre degradation and more foot to the floor, I'm hoping.
15-minute race as well, so that's going to be interesting to see how they approach the in terms of the wheel-to-wheel racing. Will they play it safe or not? We'll have to wait and see. But I do believe, Monty, are we going to go through the remaining teams who are taking part in this series? Because some of them we didn't see on track because they're in another server.
Yeah, let's go. Yep, let's go and read out the rest of our teams who are taking part this season. So we got up to number 22, the University of Staffordshire. One of the big names in Formula Student themselves. Great to see them part of the sim racing series once again. Next up, we've got Polly U. That's our friends from Hong Kong. Remember last year, guys, we had 3 teams from Hong Kong take part. So it's great to see them all back once again. Next up, number 24, it's the University of Bath. Another big name in the FS world.
That's a great livery. It's almost
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't it just right? I love it. And look at the tongue. By the way, guys, this is Roxy and Rexy. This is the dinosaurs which have been running on the
Hi, Roxy.
Porsche. So this is the reason for the tongues. So we're dedicating to that. Next up, we've got MTU. That's Munster, isn't it?
Yes, that's Munster.
That would be Munster, our Northern Irish counterparts. Then number 26, it's Glasgow's B team. 27, it is the University of Portsmouth. Didn't see the purple cars in the top server.
I love this livery.
But isn't that a gorgeous colour? Absolutely loving it. 28, it's the University of Salford. They were our big names for the last few years, but since Jonathan Wheater has graduated, not many people in the team taking over the mantle now, so I hope to see Salford near the top because they were always great to watch race. And always a stunning livery. Number 29, there we are. It's Surrey Team Surtees. Great to see them committing to a full season this year. We've already seen them racing. Then at number 30, it's Sheffield's Hallam. 31, it's Cardiff's B Team. Then on to 32, it's hard. This is when it starts to get a bit confusing because we've got
Victoria B Team.
Yes, we've got 3 universities from the Basque Country, but from different counties. So here we are. We've got Victoria first. We'll see the other Basque countries later on. Number 33, I want to say that's Harriet Watt's logo there.
You're right, Monty.
Fantastic. So our Edinburgh University back representation once again. Then we have UE, University of West England. Championship protagonists in the first season, and they've been part-timers ever since. Would be nice to see them racking some big points. They're a big name in the FS world. Victoria, there's their A team, was it?
Yeah, it was that's their A team. The B team are actually doing a lot better than the A team last year.
That's right, yes, okay. Then up to 36, it's the University of Sussex, not far from where I live nowadays. Number 37, it's Hull B. Then we're on to 38, that's Manchester's Stinger University.
Oh my God!
What
right,
a
that's my favourite livery.
Glorious livery, isn't it? Then we got 39, it is the University of Liverpool John Moores. 40, we're on to UP Racing's concept class. So we have the FS and concept class taking part. Number 41, UCLR. Jess, remind me who this is again?
University College London.
This is
41.
College. Welcome back, College London. We haven't seen them for a couple of years. It's great to see them putting another entry in. So here we now start to see the new teams taking part. I want to say this is Edinburgh. for 42?
Yeah, that is Edinburgh. Do you want me to go through the new teams, Monty? And there's some teams I can't pronounce, so I'll probably hand over to you for some of them.
Perfect.
So number 43 is the whole Illuminati team who topped Server 2. 44, Monty, I can't pronounce it, so go for it. It's from Kazakhstan, isn't it?
Oh, it's the Kazakhstani University. I told you guys, we're in international competition this year. We are as far west as British Columbia and as far east as Hong Kong and Kazakhstan. Fantastic to see.
Am I allowed to say very nice?
You just did. 45, Jess, is...
We got the two Coventry teams up next. We got the A team, the number 45, and number 46 is Coventry B. 47, Monty, from Pakistan.
Ah, fantastic. A Pakistani university as well. Brilliant. Welcome to the competition, guys. Number 48.
We got Higher Technological Institute from Egypt. We're seeing some really good international teams taking part. Islamic University Technology. No, not them. 49. Sorry. Another team I can't pronounce. Hochschule Campus Wien from Austria. They're one of the Joker teams tonight.
Brilliant.
Now we go on to number 50. Islamic University of Technology from Bangladesh. Oh, this is insane. There, 51. We got Kingston University. Where are they in the country, Monty? Because I have no clue where London. They are in England.
That's West London. Welcome back to the
course.
series, Kingston. Good to see you on here.
Where's 52? Because you just jumped to 53.
I don't know. 52 is missing from here, so I feel like we haven't got a skin for them. Who is car 52, Jess?
From Turkey, Kocaeli University. Again, apologies if you pronounce these wrong.
Okay, I don't think they submitted an entry for tonight. That's why we haven't made them a skin. On to the next one, then.
Oh, right, yeah, there we go. 53, Munster Technological University B team. So they got a second team this year, which is great to see.
Brilliant. 54, we're missing as well.
Yeah, that is National Polytechnic School of Algiers in Algeria. We got another German team, number 55, Otto I'm just going to call them Otto University because I can't pronounce the rest of it. Number 56, we got Soluk University, and number 57, Familiar Racing from Denmark.
The runners-up.
Oh, runners-up.
That feels to me like the perfect livery for round 2 because it's giving Christmas wrapping paper.
Yes.
Yeah, I expect them to do well in the engineering challenge, Denmark, because they won the statics in FS this year. Anyway, we got the 2 Hong Kong. I'm jumping down. We got Delft now. Giles was saying to me that he was expecting them to do well. But don't forget, they're brand new to sim racing. For them to get into the top server in their first race, incredible effort, guys. And they finish in the top 10. Amazing. I expect big things from them as they improve throughout the seasons. Then we got Hong Kong Polytechnic University B team, and then we got their C team straight after that. Then number 61, we got the University of Beaumont in Lebanon. We got British Columbia, number 62 from Canada. Welcome to the series, guys. We also got the number 63. I'm going too fast. Sorry, Monty. Yeah, it is Cambridge, yes.
Oh.
So they're competing for the first time. So welcome to the series, Cambridge.
Welcome back, I was going to say.
Familiar. Welcome back.
I was going to say welcome back because we used to have Alex Williamson. They won on your first time commentating for us, Jess, wasn't it? Yes. So it's been a few years.
Yeah, welcome back. Then we got the X to B team who are folding a second team. Should we see that? Oh, no, they are. Oh, that's 65. Have we got 64?
There we go.
There we go. That's my favourite, one of my favourites because it's from Devon, that's why. Hertfordshire Foundation Engineering, Oakland 65. Welcome to the series.
Now, this is an interesting one.
Guys.
Just to say, so this is Hertfordshire's Oakland College. So this is a group of 16 and 17-year-olds taking part in this one. So just to say, this is our first college entry into the series.
What's up? Is that what the kids say these days? They're cool and they're down with it. Is that what they say? What's that? I don't know.
The older you get, Giles,
amazing.
The older you get, the more
that
relevant
is amazing.
you were.
That is amazing that they're getting 16 and 17-year-olds getting involved in this, because it gives them experience ahead of when they join their universities in the upcoming years. So great to see. 66, we've got Huddersfield. So welcome to the series. We've gotten a lovely looking livery from them. I absolutely love it. University of Liverpool is number 67. So another Liverpool University. It'll be interesting to see that rivalry. 68, we got the University of Oviedo from Spain, another Spanish university. They're coming out in full force, aren't they, Monty?
Ooh.
The Spanish teams.
Fernando Alonso's hometown. Nice.
Yes. Number 69, Monty, we got University of Sheffield.
Good number.
And 16, yeah, good car number. We got Oh my God, my brain tonight is crazy.
Sorry, Jess, I'm being childish.
You should have said that with another. You should have said that with another number, which we glossed through. But that's not our time.
Jessica's just come in with this 6-7, and maybe the team of 16 and 17-year-olds can explain to us old fogies here in the virtual commentary box, what does this 6-7 nonsense mean? Please, can someone explain what 6-7 means? Monty's sister is apparently kids. I've got no idea what it means.
Giles is raging so much that his internet has cut out. Come on, Jess, let's get the last few cars done before he comes back online. Quickly, number 70.
Number 70, we got a Strathclyde B team, which we've seen in the top server. I think that they're going to improve quite a bit. Our FS winners in real life, the Basque Country, doing very well in the top server tonight. I expect to see the same for race 2. Then we got the 2 alumni teams of Oxford and York that are taking part, of course. As Dylan Warren said, so some of those drivers took part in York A's team last season.
Yes, it's great to see some of them hanging on and still wanting to take part in this, even though they've graduated. Some of the alumni are now also running the races tonight and helping the skins. We're all volunteers here.
Oh,
so
their skin looks lovely.
Oh, yeah, doesn't it? Just their skin is beautiful. But honestly, we couldn't do this without all the volunteers, and it's great to have students still wanting to take part as alumni, either as competitors or be part of the fun for the next generation of students that come through as well. A huge thank you to you all, guys.
I would just like to point out that in response to McScottish's comment, can we please not make 6-7 a thing in this series? I
agree, Scottish.
We will not be doing that. I apologise for my internet. Those of you that are students will sympathise with the fact that I'm running my stream from my end on Edurome.
Oh, God, there's something I've not heard in over 10 years. That's still a thing.
Same.
Oh.
It's still an absolute disaster.
I used to go to uni.
Yeah.
And yeah, carry on, Giles.
So basically, Medi has pointed out that we've mentioned Delft, and we were talking about Delft earlier during one of the VTs, because obviously Delft have got a massive international reputation as one of the best teams in Formula Student, as you will no doubt be aware. They are world-renowned. And I can't lie, part of me was expecting a little bit more than a top 10. But Jess and Monty have course corrected me on this and have made a valid point, and I think it's worth listening to.
Yeah.
We did mention when we were talking about it, but I'll say it again. That's probably when your internet had a bit of a moment. It's because it's their first time actually competing in the sim racing. They've hardly had any sim racing experience. And Monty can agree with me on this. It's their first time there and competing in the top server on their first attempt, finishing in the top 10. That's really, really good point. That's going to put them on the map in terms of the sim racing as well. This won't be the first time we'll see them in the top server. They're going to gain loads more experience as the season goes on. So they're there in the top 10 now. They may not be there every race, but just watch out for the rest of the season, because that it was a very good result tonight, and they went for it. They were going for moves that I've seen more experienced drivers go for. They were amazing tonight.
Medi does have a bit of a background in racing himself, so he's been one of the main drivers to get Delft into the sim racing series. I have raced against him in iRacing in the past. I don't know how competitively he does sim racing, if this is something just on the side, if he's ever done esports before. But as you've seen, he is doing this as a single driver entry. Doing it as a single driver entry tonight, which is remarkable. You know, way to throw yourself in the deep end. Good luck in race 2, because you'll be starting at the back. But yeah, be great to see who else you can get in the team and see what Delft can do. Honestly, guys, I cannot stress this enough. We have racing royalty here. We love you, Delft. We love you, Delft.
Meanwhile, Daniel Letard, obviously there's a bit of rivalry that goes on between Leicester and De Montfort because they're both based in Leicester. And Daniel Letard has jumped into the comments saying, you have an easy sprint win for University of Leicester with their new esports driver. Big eyes, side-eye emoji. So all eyes on Leicester then as we go into
So more
the next
esports
race.
Drivers.
Apparently, McScottish has said we've already got De Montfort saying it in the Discord. De Montfort, no more 6-7. None of that, please.
God.
We'll have none of that. Meanwhile, saying Mehdi has said, I haven't done esports races myself as a driver in a while. Mainly been doing this on the management side, but thanks for having us, admins. Always a pleasure to have as many teams as we can possibly get.
Thank you for racing.
Absolutely. I mean, if it weren't for this, I'd be twiddling my thumbs on a Saturday night.
And just to add to his other comment there, because he's saying that he's only practiced, he's done a 2-digit amount of laps of practice for this. Just for context,
Amazing.
Some of the people were doing up to 600-700 laps of practice for this first race. You can see who takes it seriously, and I don't think you need to guess which ones were taking it seriously and doing that amount of practice based on the gaps by the top 5 compared to everyone else.
Guys, you have degrees to do as well, with all due respect.
Indeed.
So, moments away then for race 2. It's a 15-minute sprint. We're reliably informed that Leicester have got their esports driver behind the wheel here. Can York maintain their winning streak thus far, or can Leicester take it from them? Plenty of action to come then. De Montfort will be there as well. Not to mention, of course, we will have a one-driver entry from Delft. I need to get my head around pronouncing that. McScottish, meanwhile, has just simply commented in all caps, Monty. I don't know what that means.
What have I done now? What have I done now?
I don't know. I don't know. All I've got is a comment here from McScottish saying, I can't believe Monty got away with that. Got away with what? I don't know what Monty's got away with. He gets away with a lot, but we love him for it.
I'm curious now. What have I done wrong this time?
It's a miracle this stream stays on air, honestly. So don't forget, if you're out and about and you're going traveling, then you can catch us on Express Radio as well as the Formula Student YouTube channel. Moments away from the second race. It's going to be between York and Leicester. By the sounds of it, although Leicester's just come in saying, what are these esports allegations? McScottish said, and I quote, 600 to 700 laps. Was that? I don't think that was intentional. I think that was just a coincidence.
Monty!
Scottish, if my wily mind could be that good, honestly, I would take full accountability for that. But unfortunately, my best insults come without me even realising. I just speak naturally and it comes out. So if you want to take offence, then be my guest.
Woodland Mole asking what time is the race start? A few minutes, as we have it here in the commentary box. Meanwhile, Extreme Grapes saying, I'm just waiting for the protesting to open. Just go easy on the stewards because they are volunteers and they do have lives.
They have day jobs, most of them.
Exactly. So I would suggest that, everyone just be polite and respectful when going to the stewards and be patient when waiting for them to investigate any quandaries, queries, or complaints that you might have, because you won't be alone. There will be a lot of people in the same situation. So just, take it easy would be my suggestion. Meanwhile, Jessica, what has Monty done now on this occasion? And we're all equally surprised here in the commentary box. Nothing is the answer.
But that still gets me in trouble, apparently. So, never mind. Right, guys, quick update for you. So apparently we need another 5 minutes before the server will go live. The admin team are having a bit of a backlog in organising the grids. We have quite a number of one-driver entries for tonight, so it's giving them a bit of extra work.
Quite
to do,
a lot.
Trying to shiggle everyone around. So for context, guys, just to let you know, what happens with a one-driver entry, each team is supposed to have 2 drivers present for each round of the FS Sim Racing series. And whenever they can only muster a single driver entry, well, that's fine. They can enter and do both races, but they have to start from the back of the grid. Now, that's fine, obviously. Someone goes and does a qualifying, pull them to the back of the grid, not a problem. we've had 17 teams declare one drive entry tonight, so that's 17 teams to try and reshiggle in the grid. So yeah, I'm feeling really sorry for them at the moment. So as we've got a couple more minutes to kill, shall we go and read out some provisional results from server 1, 2, and 3 in race 1?
Yeah, let's do that. Meanwhile, plenty of comments coming in. Extreme Grape saying, don't worry, I'll only submit 2 complaints. Che says his is an esports sport who is quick. I don't quite know what that means. But Scottish saying, as a sim racing steward, I understand your pain and thus will not go easy on the reporting. And finally, Bryn Lamb has said, waiting for the day one team decides to pull out Otis Lawrence to drive. Meanwhile, here we go then with the provisional results, and you can see them on your screens now. The provisional results from race 1, server 1, round 1. And are we going to start at the back and go forward, shall we? Or should we start at the top and go down?
I think
start at the top.
Yeah, start at the top and go down. On your marks, get set, go, Giles.
And your winners were, of course, York A with Dylan Warren behind the wheel. Meanwhile, plenty of support for this second place team. University of Hertfordshire's B team with Garibaldi in second place. Meanwhile, in third was Queen Mary Formula student Solan driving for them. In fourth, favourites of the sim racing series, Hull A with Top Hat Tyler behind the wheel. Bolton came in fifth with Campbell driving for them. Daniel Letard for De Montfort University in sixth. Southampton had McGowan with them in seventh. Delft, meanwhile, we've just been talking
biggest climber.
He's a one-driver entry, and as Jess has said there, the biggest climber, Meldi El Faithi in eighth. I've absolutely butchered the pronunciation on that, but hey, don't knock a guy for trying.
And they get an extra point for that, I believe. Is that right, Monty? Do they get an extra point for gaining the most places? You see, I've listened. There we go. So, extra point for Delt already.
We're trying our best here. It's a paper and string operation here for the sim racing, but we do love doing it. Aberdeen, meanwhile, in 9th with McScottish driving for them. Sato Brown for Surrey in 10th. Vigo in 11th. Coventry A team in 12th. University of Leicester in 13th. 14th was Bizkaya. Cardiff's A team in 15th. University Strathclyde B team and their Joker